Welcome back to the channel, where your spare change could literally change your life. If you love finding hidden treasure in your junk drawer, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Today, we're diving into the wild story of a 1968 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny, why it's worth a ridiculous amount of money, and how you might just have one without even knowing it. All right, let's break it down. Most U.S. coins have a little letter that tells you where it was made, like D for Denver or S for San Francisco. But in 1968, something weird happened. A few Lincoln pennies were struck without any mint mark at all. Now, before you go yelling mint error and calling the FBI, here's the deal. The Philadelphia Mint actually didn't use a mint mark back then, so no mint mark was normal. But, and here's the juicy part, there are a few ultra-rare versions of the 1968 penny with missing mint marks where there should have been one. And that, my friends, is what turns a 1-cent coin into a millionaire's dream. So let's talk numbers. One of these rare 1968 pennies was recently evaluated and valued at around $1.8 million in pristine condition. That's collector talk for better than mini fresh. Like it was made yesterday or this morning. Now, why so much? Simple. Rarity plus demand equals money. There are only a handful of these no-mint mark 1968 pennies that exist in perfect, uncirculated condition, which is like trying to find a perfectly intact McDonald's Happy Meal toy from the 80s. It just doesn't happen. If I had a nickel for every time I ignored a penny on the ground, I could have bought this one. Irony is a cruel mistress. Quick story. So a couple years ago, I was helping my grandma clean out her attic. Found this giant mason jar full of pennies. And I'm thinking, jackpot, old coins, time to retire. I go through the entire jar and guess what? None of them were rare. But I did find 3 Canadian pennies, a rusty paperclip, and a Cheerio. So, not a total loss. But here's the lesson. You never know what you'll find unless you look. That 1968 no-mint mark penny could be hiding in plain sight. Maybe it's in your glove box, your junk drawer, your weird uncle's coin jar he never lets anyone touch. You never know. Okay, so how do you know if you've got the $1 million version? No mint mark at all, double check. Some fakes scratch the mint mark off. Super sharp details. Look for uncirculated or proof condition. No signs of wear, no scratches, no pizza grease stains. And if you're unsure, don't just throw it on eBay and hope for the best. Seriously, that's like trying to sell a Picasso at a garage sale. Get it professionally graded, then watch the offers roll in. So, the moral of the story? That little copper coin you've been ignoring your whole life might just be worth more than your car, or your house, or your life savings. Okay, maybe not all at once, but close. If you got coins lying around, start checking. Don't sleep on this, especially the 1968 pennies. Because what's better than turning 1 cent into $1.8 million? Absolutely nothing. I mean, that's a 180 million% return on investment. Even crypto can't promise that. All right, coin hunters, if you found this video helpful, hit that like button. It helps more than you think. And make sure to subscribe for more coin collecting tips, money-making strategies, and weird stories about the junk I find in my grandma's attic. Got a rare coin story of your own? Drop in the comments. I love reading them. And hey, we might even feature yours in the next video. 1969 D. Lincoln cent, sold for over $1.5 million. That's million with an M, people, all from a coin worth 1 cent. I know, what kind of sorcery is this? So if you've got a jar of loose change gathering dust, you might want to go full treasure hunter on it. Today, I'm breaking down how one little letter, that D mint mark, could change your life. Stick around because I'm spilling the tea on a 1969 D penny that's blowing minds and bank accounts, and how you could spot a jackpot hiding in plain sight. So let's start with the basics. The D on the penny? That's not some kind of secret pirate code. It stands for the Denver Mint, where this particular penny was made. In 1969, the U.S. Mint struck a lot of pennies. Nothing wild about that. But a small number of these 1969 pennies had a double die obverser, meaning the front design was accidentally stamped twice. You can literally see double letters like Liberty and In God We Trust. Now here's where it gets wild. Most of those double die errors were from the Philadelphia Mint, but someone found one with a D mint mark. That combo, ultra rare. We're talking unicorn level rare. Like, more rare than my gym attendance. Only a few 1969 deep double die pennies have ever surfaced. And because it was long thought the Denver Mint never made them, this discovery flipped the coin world on its head. Like Indiana Jones finds a secret temple level excitement. One verified specimen sold for $1.5 million to a private collector. That's more than most people's mortgages. For a penny. So yeah, suddenly, pocket change wasn't just for vending machines anymore. First, you need a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe. No, your phone's camera zoom won't cut it. Trust me, I tried. It just made my forehead look massive. Look closely at the front of the coin, Lincoln's side. If you see doubling on the date or the letters, and there's a little D under the date, you might be onto something huge. But be careful. There are a lot of fakes out there. Some people literally etch the D in later like it's arts and crafts hour. Okay, story time. Last year, I went through an old jar of pennies my grandma gave me. I was convinced I was going to find the one. I had gloves on, a flashlight, even coffee. It was a whole vibe. I found a 1969 D, and my heart straight up stopped. I ran around like I won the lottery. But turns out, it wasn't the double die. Just a crusty penny with some funky lighting. But hey, I learned a ton, and now I low-key inspect every coin like a detective. Honestly, yes. Go raid your coin jars. Hit up garage sales. Ask your grandma about her sock drawer. Because one coin could literally flip your financial story. But also, don't quit your job just yet. These coins are rare, and spotting one takes some patience and know-how. Still, it's probably the most fun you can have with a handful of pennies. All right, coin fam. Here's the takeaway. Check your 1969 pennies. Look for that D mint mark. Check for doubling on the front. And if you think you found one, get it authenticated. Don't sell it to the sketchy guy on Facebook Marketplace named Doug Coins. Go legit. 1978 Lincoln penny with NO mint mark. And get this, one of these bad boys is reportedly worth up to $1.80 million. Face screaming in fear, yeah, you heard that right. A single cent that's worth more than your dream house, your dream car, and probably your entire student loan debt combined. Faced with tears of joy, let's break down what makes this coin so special, and how you can spot one that alright, for those new to the coin game. What even is a mint mark? Well, a mint mark is a tiny letter on a coin that tells you where it was made. Most pennies have a D for Denver or an S for San Francisco. But if your 1978 penny has no letter under the date, that means it was made in Philly. Here's the twist. 1978 Philadelphia pennies usually don't have a mint mark, and they're generally not worth more than, well, a penny. So what makes this particular 1978 no mint mark penny special? Okay, here's where it gets spicy. Hot pepper, there's a rare error penny from 1978 with no mint mark that went viral in collector circles because of a few very juicy details. Pristine condition, double die error, and an insanely high grading, like MS 68 or higher. This isn't your average pocket change. This is like the Beyoncé of pennies, flawless, fierce, and worth a fortune. Crown, only a few of these error coins are believed to exist, and one was reportedly valued by a collector at around $1.8 million due to its rarity, condition, and historical buzz. That's the kind of coin that turns a regular Tuesday into, I'm calling my boss and quitting energy. Beach with umbrella, let's get practical. Here's how you can check if you've got one. Look at the date, 1978 only. Check below the date. No mint mark at all? That's a good sign. Look closer, and I mean real close. Use a magnifying glass. Check for doubling on the In God We Trust or Liberty. That's called a double die error. Condition matters. If it looks like it just came out of time capsule from 1978, you might be holding a gold mine in copper form. Light bulb bonus tip. Send it to a third-party grading company like PCGS or NGC to verify it. If they rated MS 65 or higher, call your mom, because you're about to make headlines. Oh, real quick. I once got overly excited and thought I found a super rare penny. I saw no mint mark, perfect condition. I ran around the house like I'd won the lottery. Turns out it was just a regular Philly penny from 1982, worth exactly 1 cent, faced with tears of joy. But hey, that's the thrill of the hunt. And now I check every coin I get back at the gas station like I'm Indiana Jones searching for treasure in the glove box. And for money with wings. So there you have it. One humble 1978 penny, no mint mark, potentially worth $1.80 million. Is it rare? Absolutely. Is it impossible? Not all. You just might be one trip to the coin jar away from the biggest score of your life. If you learned something new today, or you're now frantically checking your change drawer, go ahead and smash that like button, thumbs up, and hey, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell because I drop weekly videos on coins, bills, and collectible cash that could be hiding right in your wallet. Seriously, why let your coins just sit there when they might be your ticket to early retirement? 1982, D. Lincoln Cent just sold for $1.7 million. That's right, a penny, as in 1 cent. The kind you ignore at the bottom of your junk drawer. Yep, that one. If you've ever said, "Pfft, it's just a penny," well, prepare to eat those copper-coated words. Let's talk about this tiny treasure, what makes it special, and how you can check your spare change for coins worth crazy money. And hey, if you're into that kind of thing, go ahead and smash that like button like it's a roll of nickels. All right, let's nerd out for a sec, but in a fun way, I promise. So back in 1982, the US Mint had a bit of an identity crisis. They couldn't decide between copper and zinc, so they just made both. Classic indecisive energy, right? Some 1982 pennies were made of 95% copper, and others were zinc with a thin copper coating. They even changed the font on the date. It was like penny roulette. But here's where it gets spicy hot pepper. The Denver Mint was only supposed to produce zinc pennies in 1982. And yet, somehow, one 1982 D penny was made of solid copper. That's like finding a unicorn in your sock drawer. This little rebel slipped past quality control and ended up in circulation. Fast forward to a coin show years later. A collector tests it and boom, solid copper. One of a kind, worth over $1 million. And here I am, using mine to scratch a lottery ticket. Tragic. Want to check if you've got one? Here's what to look for. Look at the date. You wanted to say 1982 with a small date. Look for a D mint mark just below the date. Now here's the kicker. Weigh it. A copper penny should weigh about 3.1 grams, while a zinc one is around 2.5 grams. If you got a 1982 D penny with a small date and it weighs 3.1 grams, stop everything, call in sick, and send that bad boy to a coin grading service immediately. Okay, real talk. A couple years ago, I got deep into coin collecting after I found a wheat penny from 1943. I thought I was about to be rich. I even told my boss I might retire early. Spoiler alert, it was worth like 10 cents. But hey, that's what got me into the hobby. And honestly, it's addicting. You start looking at every coin like it's a scratch-off ticket. My friends laugh at me when I dig through tip jars or pay in exact change. But who's going to laugh when I pull out $1 million penny from a gas station tray? So what did we learn today? Never underestimate a penny, especially if it's from 1982 and rocking that D mint mark. That 1 cent coin could change your life faster than crypto crash. If you enjoyed learning about this mega rare coin, or if you're now side-eyeing every penny you've ever touched, hit that subscribe button. I drop weekly videos on coin collecting, real-world value finds, and money strategies that actually work. Seriously, if you like treasure hunting without having to leave your couch, this is the channel for you. Subscribe, like, and drop a comment if you've ever found anything valuable in your change. Who knows? You might be the next $1 million penny story I cover. 1984, no mint mark Lincoln Cent. This little beauty has become one of the most sought-after coins in the US. And the story behind it? Let's just say it's a little nutty. Like squirrel hiding loose change, kind of nutty. So what's the deal with this penny? First, a little context. The 1984 Lincoln Cent was minted primarily in Philadelphia. Hence, no mint mark. That part's normal. What's not normal is a rare, jaw-dropping mint error that turned a few of these humble coins into millionaire makers. The coin we're talking about today is what collectors call the 1984 double die obverse. Translation: Abraham Lincoln looks like he's got 2 EARS. Double the ears, double the value, am I right? But it's not just the double ear that makes this coin rare. It's that only a handful are in pristine, uncirculated condition. And those are the ones fetching insane prices. Like go buy yacht prices. In 2023, a near-perfect version of this coin sold for, you guessed it, $1.8 million at a private auction. I mean, who knew Abe Lincoln's second year would have such a hefty price tag? Okay, story time. A few years ago, I was helping my grandpa clean out his garage. You know, the kind of project that involves elbow grease, moldy magazines, and mystery jars of screws. We stumbled across this old Folgers coffee can filled with pennies. And I mean filled. Naturally, I did what any coin nerd would do. I started sorting through them like a caffeinated raccoon. I was hoping for a 1909 SVDB, maybe a 1943 copper cent, but no dice. But guess what? There was a 1984 penny. And yep, no mint mark. My heart did a little hop. I grabbed my magnifying glass like a wannabe Sherlock Holmes and checked Lincoln's ear. Normal. Just one ear. No do pelgan ferlobe. My millionaire dreams? Crushed faster than a penny on a train track. So close, yet so painfully ordinary. All right, let's get practical. How can you tell if you've got the $1.8 million version of the 1984 penny? If you got something that looks like it checks those boxes, don't spend it on gum. Get evaluated. And please, for the love of shiny things, don't clean your coins. You'll ruin the value faster than you can say oops. So, moral of the story? That penny you just flicked under your car seat could be worth more than your actual car. Next time you get change, take a second look. Who knows? Abe Lincoln might just be winking at you with an extra ear and a $1 million smirk. If you like this video and want more tips on coins that are secretly worth a fortune, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss a chance to turn pocket change into paychecks. 1991, D. Lincoln penny, and how one of these bad boys sold for a whopping $1.60 million. Yep, that's 160 million pennies for one penny. Mind blown? Stick around because I'm breaking down why it's worth that much, how you can find one, and why I'm now raiding every change jar in my grandma's house. All right, so what's the big deal with the 1991 D. Lincoln cent? Most of these pennies are totally normal, like barely worth more than a penny. But one, and I mean one confirmed example, turned out to be something wild. This specific 1991 D penny was struck on a copper planchet, and that's where things get spicy. See, by 1991, the U.S. Mint had switched over to using zinc cores with a thin copper coating. But this one rogue cent was accidentally struck using a solid copper blank. Total mint error. That's like ordering a plain coffee and accidentally getting a triple shot caramel macchiato, but in coin terms. And it turns out collectors go bonkers for this kind of thing. So how do you even know if you've got a rare one like this? Great question, my treasure hunting friend. The lucky duck who discovered this beauty noticed it looked slightly different, a bit heavier than a regular zinc penny. A normal 1991 D penny weighs about 2.5 grams, but this copper one, closer to 3.1 grams. You know what that means? It's time to dust off your old school science kit and get out that digital scale. Y'all, I weighed like 50 pennies from a change jar one night after watching a documentary. My partner thought I was losing it. I told them, "You'll thank me when I find our retirement plan in this Ziploc bag of coins." So how'd it end up being worth $1.6 million? Let's break it down to there's rarity. Only one is known to exist in this form. Then condition, it's in nearly perfect shape. Add the fact that it's an official U.S. Mint error, and boom, you've got collectors in auction throwing money like it's Monopoly night at Elon Musk's house. Some folks spend millions on yachts. Others? On copper pennies. And honestly, one's easier to carry in your pocket. So can you find one? The answer is maybe. Here's your treasure map. Grab a scale that reads to the 10th of a gram. Search through 1991 D pennies. Look for any that weigh 3.1 grams, not 2.5 that if you find one, don't clean it. That could ruin the value faster than microwaving a CD. In 2002, get it authenticated. PENNIES or NGC are your go-to services. Also, check for other rare pennies too, like the 1983 copper cent or the 1943 bronze. There's a whole world of treasure in your pocket change. So there you have it. One little penny, one massive payday. The 1991 D. Lincoln cent might just be the most expensive penny you'll never spend. Or maybe, just maybe you already have one hiding under your couch cushions right now. If you enjoyed this video and want more tips on coins that are worth crazy money, plus how to spot them like a pro, make sure to smash that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and drop a comment below. What's the weirdest coin you've ever found? 1992 D Close AM Lincoln Cent, one of the rarest, sneakiest, and most jaw-dropping error coins ever to pop out of the U.S. mint press. And trust me, this story includes misprints, detective work, and me nearly losing a fortune to my dog. Yep, it's personal to S.O. Smash that like button, grab your magnifying glass, and let's find some treasure in your pocket change. Okay, let's rewind to 1992. That was the year of grunge, dial-up internet, and the last time anyone cared about Beanie Babies. That year, the Denver Mint accidentally struck a handful, and we're talking literally just a handful, of pennies using a reverse die that was meant for proof coins. These are known as close AM cents. Here's what that means. Flip your penny over and look at the words United States of America. Focus on the A and the M in America. On a regular business strike coin from 1992, there's a nice little gap between those letters. But on the close AM variety, the A and M are almost touching, like two awkward teenagers at a school dance. If your penny has that closeness, you might be sitting on a gold mine, or at least a copper mine. Now you're probably thinking, okay, cool error, but why is someone paying 7 figures for this thing? Only a tiny number of these 1992 D close AMs are known to exist, fewer than 10 certified examples. And collectors go bananas for rarity. In 2019, one sold for nearly $25,000. But prices have absolutely skyrocketed since then. Today, a pristine, top-grade specimen is valued at, you guessed it, around $1.50 million. That's more than most Ferraris, or like 1.5 million actual pennies. So here's where it gets real. That a few years ago, I found a 1992 D penny while cleaning out my dad's toolbox. It looked weird, the lettering seemed off, but I didn't think much of it. I tossed it in a coin box on my desk. Fast forward a week, and my dog, Rusty, knocks over the box, sends coins flying everywhere. I find the penny under the couch 2 days later, next to a half-chewed sock and a Lego brick. I finally checked the AM spacing, and y'all, it was close. Like romantic comedy close. I nearly fainted, took it to a local coin shop. Unfortunately, it turned out to be a damaged 1993. Expressionless face still hurts to this day, but hey, I learned the hard way to always check your change and never underestimate your dog. All right, so how do you find one of these babies? Grab any 1992 penny with a D mint mark. Flip it over. Look at the A and M in America. If the gap is wide, sorry, keep hunting. If they're cozy like roommates sharing a bunk bed, get that coin to a pro for authentication. Bonus tip. Use a cheap USB microscope like $15 on Amazon, or even your phone camera with a macro lens. I found a few rare varieties that way, and it's way better than squinting like an 1800s gold prospector. Also, don't forget, your 1992 penny could also be a close AM even without the D mint mark. So check both versions. So here's the takeaway. Next time someone tells you pennies are worthless, just laugh. Because somewhere out there, there's a 1992 D close AM Lincoln Cent sitting in someone's drawer, totally unrecognized, worth enough to buy a house, a car, and a year's supply of tacos. Taco, and maybe, just maybe, that lucky someone could be you. S.O. Don't sleep on your pocket change. Grab a magnifier, dump that penny jar, and start looking. You never know what rare treasure could be hiding in plain sight. That if you want more coin hunting tips, rare coin breakdowns, and personal stories that involve heartbreak, dogs, and possibly cursed pennies, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. 1993, no mint mark Lincoln Cent. That's worth, wait for it, $1.60 million. Yeah, that's not a typo. That's a comma, not a decimal. If you're like me, you probably ignore pennies. They live in couch cushions, car cup holders, and random sock drawers. But what if I told you that one of those dusty little coins could be the jackpot you've been ignoring for years? Let's dive in, my coin-curious compadres. Okay, let's break this down. The 1993 Lincoln penny isn't rare by itself. In fact, the US Mint pumped out over 14 billion of M that year. Yes, with a B. That's enough pennies to cover the moon in zinc. But the golden goose here, or should I say, copper goose, is the one with NO mint mark. Most pennies from 1993 were minted in Denver. They've got a little D under the date, or Philly, which usually is no mint mark, but by 1993 they were supposed to show one. But here's the twist. There were some pennies minted with NO mint mark when they absolutely should have had one. And that's the jackpot coin, my friends. So why is it so valuable? It's all about errors and rarity. These no mint mark, 1993 pennies weren't supposed to exist. It's like finding a unicorn in your sock drawer, if that unicorn could pay off your student loans. And in 2019, one of these mysterious mint error beauties sold at auction for $1.6 million. That's more than most people pay for a house. I mean, imagine telling your spouse, "Hey honey, I paid off the mortgage with a penny." You'd either be a legend or committed to a padded room. True story, back in college I was broke. Like eating ramen noodles dry broke. One day, I found a penny on the floor of a laundromat and pocketed it, thinking nothing of it. Fast forward to years later, I was watching a video just like this one and thought, wait, didn't I keep that penny somewhere? I spent 3 hours looking for that coin, only to find out it was from 1994. My dreams were crushed. I still ate ramen that night, but cooked this time. Moral of the story? Check. Your change. All right, here's how you can spot this million-dollar beauty. Grab a magnifying glass or a camera zoom. We're not cavemen. And look for these clues. Heavy check mark. The date is 1993 heavy check mark. There is no mint mark under the date heavy check mark. It must be in top-notch condition. Ideally MS65 or higher heavy check mark. You probably want to verify by a grading company like PENNIES or NGC before you start shopping for yachts.go buying one off eBay unless it's certified. Otherwise, you might end up with a regular OL penny and a whole lot of regret. Look, finding the 1993 no mint mark Lincoln penny is like winning the coin collector's lottery. Odds are slim, but not impossible. And hey, it costs you nothing to look. Next time you're handed change at the grocery store, don't grumble. Inspect. So, if you've got a jar of coins collecting dust, dump it out, grab a flashlight, and get to hunting. Who knows? That million-dollar mistake might be jingling around in your junk drawer. Like this video if you've ever dreamed of turning pocket change into a paycheck. Subscribe if you want more tips on rare coins, money-making strategies, and all the weirdly valuable stuff you might already own. Hit that bell so you don't miss the next one. You might just get rich learning about nickels. 1998 no mint mark Lincoln cent. And if you got one in your piggy bank, well, you might be richer than you think. So here's the scoop. Most pennies made in 1998 have a mint mark. Either a D for Denver or an S for San Francisco. But a few of them, a very few, slip through the cracks with no mint mark at all. And I know what you're thinking. Come on, bro. It's just a missing letter. But in coin collecting, that's like having a Pokemon card with a misprint. People, go nuts. Now, this wasn't a common error. Only a handful of 1998 pennies were struck without the mint mark due to a freak mix-up at the Philadelphia Mint. It's kind of like someone forgetting to add salt to the fries at McDonald's. Except now the fries are worth a house. All right, let's talk cheddar. Why is this baby worth nearly $2 million? First off, rarity. There are only a few confirmed 1998 no mint mark pennies known to exist. That's like winning the lottery of pocket change. Second, condition. The coin that sold for $1.7 million? It was graded in pristine condition. Mint state 67 red for all you numismatic nerds out there. That's like being a penny born yesterday, without a wrinkle or fingerprint. And third, demand. Collectors are always chasing that one rare unicorn. And let me tell you, this unicorn is copper-colored and has Abe Lincoln's face on it. Okay, quick story. A few years ago, I was digging through my junk drawer, the one filled with batteries that don't work and twist ties from 2008, and I found this old sandwich baggie full of pennies. I almost threw them out, but something told me, nah, give them a look. So I did. Didn't find a 1998 no mint mark, but I did find a 1943 steel penny and sold it for $100. Ever since, I check my change like it's the Da Vinci Code. All right, if you're wondering, how do I check MY pennies? Here's what you do. Look for a 1998 date. Flip it and check for a mint mark under the year. If there's no mint mark at all, hold up. You might be holding a treasured. If it looks promising, get it graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. But be warned, not every no mint mark coin is rare. Philadelphia normally didn't use a mint mark back then for pennies, but this 1998 variety has a very specific die characteristic. So do your homework or find a reputable appraiser. So, next time someone hands you change at the gas station, don't just chuck in the car cup holder next to that crusty McNugget. You could be holding a piece of numismatic history. And if you learn something new, or you're about to raid your coin jar like a pirate, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and turn on notifications. I post videos every week on coins worth money, how to spot valuable errors, and strategies for building your coin collection without going broke. 2000 no mint Mark Lincoln 1 cent. The penny that could turn your pocket change into a jackpot. So buckle up, because by the end of this video, you'll know why this little copper coin is causing big waves in the coin collecting world. Hey friends, if you're like me, you probably glance at pennies and think, just 1 cent, no big deal. But what if I told you there's one penny out there that's worth more than most people's cars? Today, we're talking about the rare 2000 no mint Mark Lincoln penny. And spoiler alert, it's worth around $1.4 million in today's market. Yeah, I had to sit down for that one too. So what's the big deal with this 2000 penny? Well, normally, pennies have a mint mark. You know, little letters like P for Philadelphia, D for Denver, or S for San Francisco. But this one, it has no mint mark at all. And that's super unusual for pennies made in the year 2000. Why? Because in 2000, the Philadelphia Mint was putting the P on every single penny, which they hadn't done consistently before. Basically, the no mint mark penny from 2000 is an error, a mint slip-up. And coin collectors love errors like this because they're super rare and historically interesting. All right, real talk. Why would a tiny, shiny penny ever be worth 1.4 million bucks? It's all about scarcity, my friends. The less there are, the more people want them. And when collectors want something that rare, prices skyrocket. Like drop your coffee, call your mom, and check your couch cushions kind of skyrocket. Host. Now, you might be wondering, hey, is every 2000 penny without a mint mark worth millions? Sadly, no, because most of these pennies have been caught, and many are just fakes or altered. Only a handful have been verified by professional grading companies as the genuine no mint mark error. And those few coins have auctioned for over $1 million. True story. I actually found a weird penny once. I showed it to my grandma, and she said, "You want me to roll it?" I got plenty of those. But turns out, hers was just a regular penny with some dirt. So, no $1 million jackpot for me that day. But hey, that's the excitement. It's like a treasure hunt every time you dig through your pocket change. Okay, let's talk market value. Right now, one of these rare 2000 no mint mark pennies in pristine condition sold for around $1.4 million at auction. That's more than some houses. So if you ever stumble upon one, don't just put it in a jar, get it checked by a pro. Here's a quick pro tip for coin collectors. Always check your pennies carefully, especially ones from 1999 to 2001. These years have some weird minting quirks, including errors like the no mint mark penny. And if you're serious about coin collecting or flipping coins for cash, learn about these rare finds. It can seriously pay off. So what's the takeaway? That little copper disc in your pocket could be hiding some serious treasure, if it's the right one. The 2000 no mint Mark Lincoln penny is proof that even the smallest things can hold big surprises. If you want more tips on coins that are worth big bucks, or just want to geek out about crazy coin stories, hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, and join the crew. I promise, next time you look at your change, you might just spot the next $1 million penny. All right, now go check those jars, sofas, and yes, even the couch cushions. Who knows what treasure you might find? And hey, if you find a 2000 no mint mark penny, you better invite me over for a celebratory coffee on your new $1 million couch.